Okay, guys, so we are here. We have my friend Joel, my friend Austin here. We're going to do a crypto live stream today, talking about Bitcoin and some news that came out with it. As always, guys, if y'all have anything specific in the chat that you guys want us to talk about, let us know. We have Joel Straight and my man Austin here.
Greetings.
Yes, sir.
How's everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So I guess the first thing for us to talk about is Bitcoin today and Ethereum. I know a lot of the talk today was from China saying they had basically completed the rectification of the crypto market. Of course, in the last few weeks, we've had bumping into my mic. In the last few weeks, we've had a lot of skepticism, I guess is the best word, in the crypto market from people getting a little bit more hardline with it, different countries threatening to ban it, different rumors floating around. And then when China basically said that they were done with that process, and, you know, I guess there's some renewed optimism with that. We have Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and Ethereum all up over the last 24 hours. So yeah, Joel, I guess we'll ask first. What do you think about all this, man?
Well, I mean, there's a lot going on in the crypto world. They're really kind of wrangling in the Wild West of the last 10 years of the crypto world. And if you look at things that the Biden administration is doing, you just hear here in the United States, the Biden administration is actually appointing armed IRS agents to go undercover and pose as crypto buyers.
Really?
And there's one case that came out last week, not even last week, maybe 3 or 4 days ago, of this guy going by an alias of the name Mr. Coins, and no joke. And there's all these exchanges, these local exchanges where you can meet up, sort of like a Craigslist, if you will, for crypto, and people buy and sell crypto on these exchanges. You can meet up in person and you can literally exchange a thumb drive.
I've seen that.
Yeah, there's like local Bitcoins, and they've done this type of thing in the past, never with armed agents, but they've done these type of stings in the past.
Sting operations.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And the whole point of these things is to catch people buying and selling crypto and not reporting it on their taxes. It's called the Safe Families Act here in America, of course.
Wow. What a ridiculous name! What a ridiculous name! The Safe Family Act. They're out here protecting families, guys, arresting people that buy crypto. What the heck is that? I hate the names they give these things, bro. They give them the most misleading and manipulative names. The Safe Family Act.
Always.
How dare them?
Always.
What's up, Tony? We got Tony in here too, by the way.
Hey,
guys.
Tony.
Yeah, what's up, Tony?
Hey.
But the main point of this piece of legislation is to track inflow and outflow, and what it would do is it's not approved yet, but what it would do is it would give the United States the authority to be able to monitor your bank account with Chase or Wells Fargo or something like that, and see every time you make a crypto purchase with your debit card or credit card. And so that gives them information to be able to tax you better. Like, hey, you bought some crypto, in July. What's going on with that? Did you sell it into cash yet? So it means that the IRS can track that even better. So, and that's not just going on in our country. It's going on in multiple countries around the world. But then you've also got other countries, which like El Salvador, which is, making Bitcoin their official currency. And while that seemed almost, that seemed almost like a joke joke in the beginning. You know, everyone said, "Oh, this won't work. This won't work." But El Salvador's currency was so devalued
it
that
was tanking.
Just like Venezuela.
Yeah, exactly. So now they're going into, you know, I watched a documentary maybe 2 weeks ago where, you know, these citizens were going around to like farmers markets and stuff like that and paying with Bitcoin. They had a Bitcoin ATM, you know, where they could go to the Bitcoin ATM and pull out Bitcoin on like a coin debit card, so to speak, and then go around and get, you know, an oil change or buy lemons or whatever they needed to do.
Right.
So there's some countries that are really embracing it, but there are other countries that are really pushing it away. You know, China ran Binance out of their country not very long ago. Binance went over to Japan, and Japan welcomed them with open arms for about 4 months, and then all of a sudden they, you know, sent in the equivalent of Japan's IRS and Japan's SEC to go and start auditing, you know, all their books. And they're like, nope, gotta go, peace. And then they, you know, jumped over to Malta. Malta welcomed them with open arms, and, you know, now Malta's looking to do the same. So now they're looking to spread out and go into like the Seychelles and all these other things. But if you know anything about Binance, one of the things, it's like a long running joke about Binance is no one knows where they're located. It's been that way.
Is that why Texas banned them? Is that why Texas banned them too? Because I know I can't use Binance Pro in Texas. Like, I've tried to use Binance Pro. I've signed up for it. I can't use it here. It's also banned in like New York, Connecticut, a lot of those places.
Yes.
Binance, when it shut down, it like took like $800 worth of like Tron with it from me out of nowhere. Like, I just remember that they sent me like 2 emails. Was from an email I wasn't looking at, then it was just gone one day. And they're like, "We warned you." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah. Well, what's the difference between Binance and something like, you know, crypto.com or Kraken or wherever that lets me sign up?
Regulations, approval.
Yeah. A lot of it is
money.
Yeah, a lot of it is where they're located. Like, you know, like Bittrex is located in Seattle. Yeah, right. Yeah. You know, like Bittrex is located in Seattle. Kraken, I forgot where they're located, but I'm pretty sure it's in the United States at least. But they might not be. Don't quote me on that. But a lot of it has to do with how willing are they to submit user data to governments, and that's a big factor. But you know, crypto as a whole, as the markets right now, there's a lot of people that are hedging their bets with crypto.
Right.
With like if you look at the stock market, it's so overinflated right now. I was looking at Buffett indicator yesterday, you know, and it's like 240% away from what, you know, we can kind of look at that as sort of like an overall market volume weighted average price. And it's so extended away from that you know, there's bound to be a pullback sometime soon, and so a lot of people are using crypto to hedge their bets.
That makes sense. It's just it makes sense as a hedge as well. I'm kind of doing the same thing. I've just been, you know, accumulating as much crypto as I can. It also makes sense that like Uncle Sam wants their money, you know, like that's the threat to, if you have a threat here with cryptocurrencies, it's taxes, right? Like, a lot of people are using cryptocurrency, NFTs especially, to launder money. And so with that, that's the worry, that's the fear. You know?
But it's not just the United States. I mean, it's multiple countries now.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
Like Joel's been saying, you know, I mean, you know, Binance has been welcomed right in the beginning multiple times. And then until they find out, oh, well, why aren't we getting a piece of this pie? And then next thing you know, they're moving.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I see. Here's a good question by Clinton. Sorry, Tony, it's cutting you off down there a little bit. I don't know. Are you having internet problems, Tony, or?
No,
there you go.
fine.
Okay, you're back. Okay, good. Yeah, but comments might cut you off here. But here's a good question by Clinton. He said, hypothetical. Let's say the U.S. government does tax crypto. What percentage would be fair? 5%, 10%, 25% for discussion.
Well, crypto's already currently taxed in the United States, and it's taxed at 15%, and it's been taxed for 5 years. I mean, it's been taxed since 2016, and you know, I remember when they first started putting it in, I had a lot of friends that were in crypto. I'd been involved in crypto for 3 years at that point, and everybody I knew was just freaking out. And it did the opposite of what everyone thought it was going to do. They thought it was going to crash the crypto markets, and then in 2016, as you guys know, Bitcoin hit 20 grand for the first time, and that was, everybody was so dumbfounded. And I personally, I felt like an idiot because I sold all my Bitcoin, like right before that. And
I know that feeling.
I sold it at like, $900, and I had
multiple times where I've done that.
Yeah,
and it goes up within a few months, and then it goes double, triple, or whatever it was. And I've done that at least 3 times that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I had a lot to learn back then. So
I just think the problem is with like the voice, like the view of crypto back in the day. Like you said, you sold and everything. The reality is, we look at every peak like, wow, this is a lot of money from what we had. You know what I mean? And this could be our knife every day. And that's where there's a difference of, are you trying to profit from this, or are you trying to hold this for a long term? And that's kind of like where people divide inside of crypto. Some of them are trying to short it and gain off of daily. Other people are just like, in the beginning, they were like, at 10,000, I'm going to set it and forget it. And some of them are going to benefit. And, it's just so many ways to approach it constantly.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just like any other investment, and I think one of the, I think one of the things that about in regards to crypto taxes, crypto is currently taxed as property, kind of like real estate. So, and I think that they're looking to try to get away from that, because there are people that are being paid in their wages as crypto. I had a friend of mine that was being paid in Ethereum.
Sports stars
back in 20. Sorry. Yeah, I had a friend of mine that was being paid in Ethereum 5 years ago.
I'm getting paid right now by Bit gets a sponsor of mine, and the way they pay me is they deposit cryptocurrency. They deposit USDT Tether coin into my account, and I withdraw that. Usually I send it to Coinbase but the real also, guys, let's take turns. We got different subjects, so let's just go down the line and then we'll start back over. That way we all
let's
get a chance to talk. I think that'll be helpful since we got so many people here. But no, BitGet's currently paying me in crypto, and so Uncle Sam, if you're listening, gonna pay taxes on it. Don't worry, I'm gonna pay taxes on that.
They ain't gonna sue them; they're gonna put them in a box.
Right? Yeah. Don't come for me, Uncle Sam. I'm gonna pay you tax money. Listen, I always get the October extension. You're gonna get a big check for me in the next 3 months. Don't worry. But with that said, though, I think it's super interesting, and just to go off of what Tony said, you do have athletes that are negotiating tokens and coins in their contract, and so I think that's the future, and I think that is I think they're just gonna get bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just the overall technology of cryptocurrency, as well as blockchain technology, is I think that's the future of everything. I mean, Brave browsers built on blockchain for internet. I mean, if you guys ever watched Silicon Valley,
love that show.
It was a great show.
Gilfoyle.
Yeah.
I love Gilfoyle. But sorry. They built their browser on blockchain, and that really is. I mean, that's the reality. That's where everything's going. Chase has been putting tons of money into it. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Microsoft. All of these companies are putting billions of dollars into blockchain and into crypto. And 5-10 years from now, that's where everything is going to be, because literally everything can be turned into a smart contract. Everything can be on the ledger. Right. Every action. Every little microtransaction that you could do is tracked, recorded, and secure,
verifiable.
It'll be less sketchy.
Yes.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it does. It makes it less sketchy. Sorry, go ahead, Austin. If you wanted to.
No, that's what I was just saying. It just makes it verifiable. And like he said, you see all these companies investing in, Bitcoin and Ethereum and a lot of these, different altcoins, the bigger ones, but not only are they investing in the coin themselves or the token, they're also, looking to find a way to improve that system. I mean, you've seen it all across the board. with
Right,
all these new
sure.
projects and stuff coming out and things like that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Tony, what you doing, man?
Um,
Oh, we're going
yeah,
in order, bro. Sorry. That's
yeah,
what
I
we
was
were
gonna
going in
say.
order.
So,
No, you were talking about athletes with
no, I was just
getting
saying,
paid
like,
in coins.
there's a lot of different things that people are choosing. I mean, El Salvador with their currency. The only thing is just like, what is the main coin that the dollar is based off again? Is it alt or
It's
what
Tether
is it?
coin.
Tether coin.
USDT.
Yeah, so the problem is that Tether is another focus of where people are pretty much tripping out about as well as
They
the
are.
actual control of that and the actual value of it, etc. And then if I remember correctly, the reason that they're trying, even though Bitcoin won't fail because it's the main daddy for the time being, it's just they're kind of trying to make that as a weak point. So that's why they're trying to eliminate the mining a lot of things and trying to push on all these other coins. But all these other coins are still doing their fees directly in what they're quoting. So it's just kind of, there's still going to be money taken out everywhere, including your taxes. I just think it's interesting how things are jumping from like different coins trying to go around the tether and everything and things like that to actually have a basis off of the dollar. There's a lot of interesting stuff that pops up every day with like, what?
Yeah. Honestly, well, what do you think about? Man, I forget what I was going to say too. What do you think about the U.S. government? I heard about Tether and Tethercoin getting sued or something about. Was it Tethercoin getting sued? Let me see.
Yeah, so Tethercoin
go ahead.
got sued quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was this whole premise of the idea that, Tether is tied to the US dollar, but much like banks, they weren't actually holding that amount of money in assets. So like if you know anything about the Federal Reserve System and the way the banks
Right.
work and whatnot, they don't keep all the money that they have. So if you have like, a $500 million account, they only need to have like $5 million in there in order to quote unquote cover you.
Back up, yeah.
And Tethercoin worked the same way, and they got sued for that. So that was quite a few years ago. That was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago that happened.
The other news that China's finally done, hopefully messing with it because China did they just delete Binance off of their system? Like I used Binance for a little while, and I saw Coinbase actually going up today with Bitcoin's rise. So Coinbase, let me see. Coinbase is now up to, man, I should have held it. I bought it.
China went ham.
Yeah.
I mean, they went crazy banning mining. They banned, everything right off the bat. And then, I mean, then they started on the education side. I mean, China went ham on a lot of stuff quick. And that's, it affected the whole market.
Yes,
crypto and the stock market.
Thank God I got rid of any, man, when I was running with the crypto. God, it was just so off from hell.
That offering, bro. That offering is what destroys it, man.
I got off at like 12, and I was mad at myself because I jumped off for only like 9:43, and it went up to 11. But then, damn, dude, if I would have been that guy that held it, man, woo!
Dude, I've told this story a million times, but I almost bought like 4 Bitcoin to deposit into a poker website like 4 or 5 years ago, and dude, that could have bought me a house, bro. Back then, it was like if I would have just bought some of that poker money and just kept that Bitcoin there, I could withdraw it for a lot of money now. 4 Bitcoin. That's
trust me, I bought my first Bitcoin for $800. So.
Oh man, it hurts. And a lot of people, Mitch used to tell me, Mitch at the time when it pulled back to 3,500 said, "Hey, buy the dip," and I never did. I didn't believe in Bitcoin for a long time. The question I have, honestly, trading. Well, Bitcoin to me, I saw it as nonsense because I didn't understand what blockchain really was. Like I would see a lot of these stocks, like back in the day, Mara and Riot. Like everybody knows those companies because they're kind of like the main Bitcoin related stocks, Mara and Riot. Back in the day, those were pumping up crazy for penny stocks. So they were just another penny stock to me. They were going from like $2 up to 12 and doing
not anymore.
Doing sketchy penny stock stuff. Yeah. Now they're real companies because Bitcoin got so huge. It kind of turned them into these bigger companies as Bitcoin's parabolic rise. And now they're they're staples of the Bitcoin stocks. My question though, is Bitcoin mining still even profitable? I know Joel personally has taught me a lot about mining in general, but like for the everyday investor or miner, like could I make a profitable mining rig now, and is it even worth it? Like am I gonna
can I answer
work
the first
for
part,
hours?
Joel? I'll let you have the whole thing with the. I just want to say one part about that. So
Go for it.
I would just say it's about your reach to access of equipment. That
Right.
is the bottom line if you make the
Totally
dollars or
true.
not, because it has nothing to do with if you can run the programs, if you can build the gear. The building's easy. We can all run blueprints and figure that out. But the problem is the scalpers have all the GTXs and all the AMD everything. So you can't get a
Well,
hold of the big boy machines, the ones that are actually pumping out. What are they called again, Joel? The K.
those are GPUs, but there's one thing that I want to put out there is that if you're mining Bitcoin specifically, you're not using a GPU, you're using a CPU, and you're using that on specifically you're using that on ASIC, which is
What are they
applications.
using those for?
Those are used for mining Ethereum.
Ethereum, that's what it is. Okay.
Right.
Yes, and so Ethereum, mining Ethereum is a whole different ball game than mining anything on Bitcoin, which is the SHA-256 code. And go ahead.
I'm sorry, man. I was just going to say that. Wouldn't you say that with Ethereum and the groove that it's going, and let's be honest, it's the second main. Back in the day, originally, I think, was Litecoin when Bitcoin was first taken off gradually
Right.
and stuff like that. But with
Yeah.
Ethereum taking on so much love, I would almost think that, remember, Bitcoin is profitable in the next so many, however, but from where we get in at the bottom line and we don't cash that money out, we just continue to run it. I would think Ethereum would be the bet then, and that's the only reason I was thinking about the graphics
Gas
card.
fees,
Yes.
bro. Gas fees are
Yeah.
ridiculous. I have an OpenSea account, and like I tried to withdraw my money just so I could understand the process, and it was a huge percentage of my overall account. Those freaking Ethereum gas fees, and those are what's hurting the NFT market as well. Joel, what do you think about that, Joel? I'm curious to see what you think about Ethereum.
Yeah. So I'll answer the Ethereum thing, then I'll jump back to the mining thing. So
I wanna
mining
comment on the
is
mining thing too.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the Bitcoin or anything on SHA-256, that's just Bitcoin Cash, or anything else in the SHA-256 code spectrum is definitely profitable to run. Number one, if you can get a hold of the equipment, which the best place, there's two places really to get a hold of miners that are powerful enough to be able to do that outside of Craigslist, is Craigslist or eBay. Number one is Bitmain, and you'd have to go to shop.bitmain.com. They got a new miner coming out that's like 110 terahash, or I actually think it was a lot higher than that. But they're like $10,000 now because of because of circuit
Such a
issue.
high cost for entry.
Yeah. And they used to be around $3,000 for a miner. The issue that you run into a lot of the time with mining Bitcoin and using the ASIC miners is number one, the noise. They sound like, I mean, they're
Jet,
so
basically.
basically a jet,
A mini jet.
They're kind of like a Bluetooth speaker cranked up to 9 out of 10.
So my wife wouldn't let me have one, basically.
You'd have to keep it in the garage kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And soundproof that garage so your neighbors don't complain.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's one.
Phantoms?
Yeah, the fans in them are just so loud.
No, the fan. Oh no, I thought you were talking about those little mini those Phantom Bluetooth speakers. Those things are insane. I'm sorry, keep going.
No, not talking about that. So that's one. Number two, you got to make sure that you live in an area that the electricity is cheap enough. So, like John, you're in Houston, Texas. Electricity is insane. I lived in Texas for a year and a half, man. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've never paid dude,
$400 a month. Yeah,
insane.
You see all of these, people and individuals and/or companies. I guess companies now, they'll go and get a bunch of containers, for container ships, and they'll go put them out in the desert somewhere and put a bunch of solar panels out there because they can't create enough power to keep all of them running, but they can create, keep that cost down as much as possible to keep their overhead low.
Yeah, but then you run into cooling issues too.
Exactly.
So.
And is the microchip shortage that's affecting the whole country? Is that like driving the prices of these miners up as well?
Huge, yes, they are so marked up. used to be able to get one for $2,000, $3,000, which, at the time I thought was expensive. Especially because you were getting 19 terahash, maybe 25 terahash, something like that.
Right.
Now you're getting, 5 times the power.
These.
Yeah. There you go. Bitmain. Yeah. Dope company. They're based in China. The other company is Canaan, and that's a stock that we often trade, CAN. Canaan.
CAN is okay.
Yes.
So that's a Bitcoin mining stock.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Canaan.io. It's CANAAN.io. They don't give you pricing information on their website. You have to do bulk orders with them. Orders about $50,000 or higher. So much higher cost of entry, but they sell you a huge amount of miners for a lot less money because they're selling in bulk. Yes, exactly. So it's definitely profitable to mine crypto. So, for example, Bitmain's new miner that's coming out will net almost $20,000 worth of Bitcoin annually up here in Washington State. Now, down in where you're at, in Texas, you'll just be at break even because of your electricity fees.
So I'd have to go somewhere else and set it up though. And that's a possible bit. I mean, listen, if they got if they got rent somewhere for $600 that lets me throw a miner in there, I guess the question I have is like, would it be profitable? Say I put up the $10,000 or $12,000 to buy a miner. Mm-hmm. Would it be profitable enough? Would it be worthwhile enough for me as like a business to buy the miner, stick it somewhere cheap with like cheap electricity, and then let it run all year? Would it make me enough money to be justified?
And you'd only need to check on it every couple of months. Here's the funny thing. I literally have this exact business plan and business model written up and everything, because at one point in time 4 years ago, I had a group of investors and we were putting together this exact deal 4 years ago. Identical in every way. We picked out a state. We were looking at getting a warehouse and just loading them up in a warehouse. What happened was we had one dude who was in for $14K, another guy who was in for like $5K, and then me, who I was in for around $5K. And what happened was I went blind. So
I forgot. You told me that.
Yep. So that happened, and then I was like, oh, okay. Well, I can't exactly do the deal. I can give you tech support through audio only. I can talk you through things, but I was the one who understood all the mining programs and all those types of things. These other guys were just investors. They didn't understand any of that. So that's why we ended up not going forward. And had we gone forward, it would have been very, very profitable. So that's one. Now number two, you were mentioning about mining Ethereum and saying that Ethereum is kind of the hot chick and the gas fees that go along with that. So Ethereum is coming this winter, around December. It's been in development. Microsoft has put in hundreds of millions of dollars. Amazon, I think, is putting in money into it. Huge tech companies are putting millions of dollars into Ethereum, and they're not buying Ethereum necessarily. They probably are, but that's not their main focus. The main focus is Ethereum 2.0, which is coming this winter, and winter is coming. And that is supposed to, we'll have to wait and see, but that's supposed to dramatically reduce the gas fees and make it much more of a functional everyday thing. Now you got to look at the main difference between Bitcoin is good for a store of value. Ethereum is good for creating different tokens that live on top of the Ethereum blockchain. Things like huge, endless amount, almost probably 80% of the altcoins now at this point, it seems, are built off the Ethereum blockchain. And that's where you get like EOS and so many different altcoins are built off the Ethereum blockchain. And think about it like this: like, let's just say, for example, John wants to create beginner trading coin. He can just, Coming soon. It'll be one thing. It'll be one sentence. Buy the dip.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah,
just.
for sure. It's the buy the dip coin. It'll be BTD coin, the BTD coin. You know,
John, I think you should come out with an NFT that just says "Don't sue me."
right? Don't sue me. Listen, I should drop one, bro. Honestly, I saw some of those.
Yo,
NFTs
you got some
on
DSM?
OpenSea. Right? Yeah, for sure. This DSM coin, DSM
You got some
token.
DSM, man. This
You know,
shit is fun.
right? Backed by lawyers. You know,
but John could come out with beginner trading coin, and all you'd have to do is spend a weekend learning the Ethereum code and and developing the coin based off of it, and then now you can make crypto transactions on John's platform, and anything within John's ecosystem. If he's got beginner trading, this website and that website and all these different things that you could buy and transact and build his own community around that beginner trading token, and all that would live on the Ethereum blockchain, and that's able to be done right now. And when it comes out to Ethereum 2.0, they're basically their goal is to simplify that whole process so that companies can create their own thing. Imagine Target having its own currency and all these different. Yes,
like the new credit, company credit card type of thing.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's dope.
And
I see that with like BitGet, even the sponsor of mine, like they have their own token, like their own platform token where you can buy everything with if you want to. So like that makes sense.
You also see
foreign ones as well and everything that they were making.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say the names, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They you have a lot of these coins or tokens that are created by these exchanges, like the Binance has a token, and everything's like that. All these very small coins that you have to buy Binance to then trade it into something else So a lot of these are let me see. I actually wrote down a few of them just so I didn't forget them.
Criminal organizations.
You have BNB, you have UNI, and Cake are the three that I just had off the top of my head.
What is Uni though? I have some
Uniswap.
I have some Uniswap. Is that from PancakeSwap or what is that?
Uniswap and PancakeSwap are kind of like the same thing, just a little different as far as like how they're put together.
Competitors.
Right? Kind of, yeah. And they all have their own coin or token, and in my opinion, I think those would be a good long-term hold because people have to buy them and they have to sell them, so the liquidity on them is usually fairly high.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard something here. Go ahead, Joel. Sorry.
No, I was just responding to what he said.
Oh, and I did want to say one thing about the mining before we go into the next subject. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard these before, and I actually, like you said, you wanted to start a business, and I've talked to family members and stuff about doing this before. It would be a little bit difficult now because of the, it's very hard to get them, but the HNT helium miners, I was really interested in that because of the low entry cost per unit and how they work as far as like it's a proof of network type of thing, and you get paid helium for that. But you can't find it. I mean, anywhere.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Right. What's this one?
And I heard just now that regulators. I saw this news today that regulators are investigating crypto exchange developer Uniswap Labs. They said the reason the SEC is they're investigating it because they have resisted oversight, according to people familiar with the matter, is what they say. And this is on the Wall Street Journal. It's not letting me see any more of the story because you know how greedy the Wall Street Journal is.
You must pay for anything past the headline.
Next week, John, we're gonna get Bloomberg, right?
Right. Bloomberg. So I had I had a friend of mine that was trying to sell me on the Bloomberg terminal, dude. And that thing, he said that thing was like $30K, $20K, just an annual subscription.
I just think it's cool how you log into the thing. I just think it's cool how that card has to be near the screen and everything for it to even get the. I just think that's cool about everything when it comes. I don't know why I'd pay so much for a card, but I guess all the news gets there immediately and everything.
Yeah, you get the breaking news immediately.
Yeah, well, what
5 minutes before market close before you get ripped off.
Right. Well, what the guy said was that it was kind of like a gatekeeper for wealth. It was like the wealthiest people in the world use the Bloomberg terminal for their investments to have like an edge over everybody else. I don't know how true this is, but like that's what he said. And to be honest, it made me curious. I'm sitting there like, well, I don't think I'm gonna pay for it, but this is the internet, you know.
John's like, let me see if I can get sponsored.
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
Real.
listen, I'll be their affiliate. Just give me access, bro. I'll pump it once a day. You know, I don't think I'll get any sales. You know, I don't think anybody's gonna. You know, I don't think anybody in my chat, the beginner trading chat room, is gonna sign up for $20K a year service. But I'll be an affiliate. Give me.
Hey,
a free
Joel,
I was sitting with a few mil in my account. We might be able to talk, but
what is the
Yeah.
until that day
Bitcoin
happens.
wallet? What is the Bitcoin wallet? I know it's sold out like everywhere. You can't even get this damn thing. It's the one where
The hard wallet.
You talking about a hard wallet?
Yeah, exactly.
There's Trezor, but Trezor wallet, but you can turn your phone or your iPad or anything, any device,
Any
that you have.
USB or
But
anything
there's
that
one
holds data.
particular. There's one particular just saying that's like its own network offline and everything. I forget what it is. I think it was from Western Digital, if I'm correct.
I mean, Trezor is usually the main one that people talk about. I
I don't
doubt
know.
it's that
It's
one,
been
because
so
you can
long.
usually just buy Trezor. It's not that difficult. But I mean, like I got wallets on my phone. I got like Jax and several others. Like, yeah, the Trezor, you can just get an app.
Here's a question.
No, oh, sorry.
Clinton just with the $5 donation. He said, "What do y'all think? What made the run up with Solana?" So SOL. I'm actually holding some SOL too. I don't know anything about it. It's just a random coin that
Chart looks amazing.
But yeah, let me see if we have it.
I don't
here.
know
What do y'all
anything
think of
about
Joel?
SOL.
Yeah,
I
Okay.
don't know
Was
anything
it-
about SOL, man.
Yeah,
I'm
the
SOL
chart
on
looks
that one.
Over the past
Yeah.
half month, we went from about $43 up to 144. So it's moving.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Yeah, it's
been-
let's
Ledger.
jump over to Coin Market Cap and see what we can figure out.
Yeah, that's what that's usually what I've been using to figure stuff out too, is Coin Market Cap. Let's see, so Solana, they're saying Solana is great chart, by the way. So if I put this up here, beautiful chart. Here's the 7-day chart, or here's the 3-month chart, which is really telling of how strong this thing's doing. This thing is up from, on August 7th, on early August. So at the beginning, about a month ago, it was at $36 per.
Like 350, almost 400%.
Yeah,
now it's at
wow,
142.
that chart looks
so
crazy.
that's a
I'm
crazy
lost,
big
and if
move
we
for
could have just
Solana.
played options off of this.
Here's
Right.
one thing, that okay, so it's built on Chainlink. Oh no, that's just the news. Here's one thing that you really got to know about crypto is that almost all crypto is built on just a couple of different algorithms.
Right.
Bitcoin is built on SHA-256. There's also like 100 other coins that are on SHA. Litecoin
They
is
move
built
in sympathy with each other too, is what
Yes.
you taught me originally. That's
Right.
what you taught me, is that the coins that are based off of the same algorithms, like if one skyrockets up, the others are usually going to follow to a certain extent.
Yeah, exactly. Litecoin is based off script. Dash is X11, or it might be Blake 2B. No, it's Blake 2B. So there's just a bunch of different algorithms out there, and they basically just complement each other. And the cool part is, this is something that a lot of people miss, is that if you own a miner, whether it's an Ethereum type miner or a SHA-256 miner, you can mine anything on that algorithm that works with that miner.
Man, you got me interested, man. I might go buy it. Just to stay again. Sorry if I interrupted you again.
Go ahead.
I'm genuinely curious about this, because it's like, it seems like listen, I could spend $10,000 on a miner. What do you think the average return is going to be if I buy a miner and stick it in some desert?
money
Not a
bags
desert.
over here.
So check it out, dude. Just go to cryptocompare.com.
Okay.
And it all is going to also depend on how Bitcoin is doing, or whatever you're mining, how it's doing.
Right,
I mean,
of course.
if we go through a big
Yes.
slump, you're not going to be making nearly as much as if we go through another hyped period.
Yeah, but Austin, but here's
it's
something
buy
that
it
I
and
want
sit
to.
it, if it's buy it and sit it, it's passive.
Exactly. And so here's something, Austin, that I want to bring up. I got into Bitcoin in 2013, and at that time, everybody was saying the exact same thing. Mining is no longer profitable.
That's what I've heard too.
That's because there's
It's been said so many times, right?
It's been said for 8 years. It's been said before that. And the reason why is because there's a huge vested interest to keep other people out of mining. And so it is there is marketing that's put out there that makes it that says that. And honestly, like I look at it, I'm like, when you look at it at the moment, at the exact moment, it may not be profitable. But, had I started mining Bitcoin in 2013, 2014, when it was $800 or $600 a Bitcoin.
Right, you might have 15, 20 Bitcoin by now or more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, but I was dumb and I believed what everybody had to say because I was short-sighted and I was looking at, it's not profitable right now in this moment, but I wasn't looking at, but Bitcoin could go to 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 or 20 or 50. That wasn't even in my spectrum.
Right.
The price volatility of it is what makes that mining profitable. You're mining to acquire coins. You're not mining to make a profit right here, right now. And
it's not a short-term trade. You're buying it. You're mining to accumulate something that's going to be long-term sustaining money. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Basically,
that's
equity.
The right way to do it.
You're mining equity into whatever coin you're getting.
Correct.
That makes sense.
Yes.
As long as that miner, doesn't fail on you within a certain amount of time, then it can't not be profitable. Over time.
Yeah. The other thing is that you've got to constantly upgrade your miners because
new and better ones always coming out.
Exactly. I mean, like, and with mining
harder
tech,
to mine too.
And with mining tech, think about this. It always costs the same amount of money to do the mining. So the electricity cost is always the same. Okay, so if you have a miner that is, mining 1 Bitcoin a year, next year it's going to mine a half a Bitcoin, and the year after that it's going to mine a quarter, and the year after that it's going to mine, a tenth, and so it's going to
get less efficient as time goes on. It's going to wear out as time goes on.
It's not that it's wearing out. It's that the algorithm is getting more and more complicated. So it requires more hash power. Okay. So it requires you to constantly upgrade your tech. And so if you're not upgrading your tech, not only will you fall behind, but that particular miner will become unprofitable. And so, if you look at miners that were around 4 years ago, don't even bother buying them, even if you can get them for $250.
And ironically, that's why Bitcoin and blockchain works, is because it becomes more complicated and you got to mine it more. If that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. But, things like Bitcoin only has a cap at 21 million coins. And once it hits there, all miners are dead.
It's fine.
And yeah, and so, at that point when they're not technically dead, I guess you could mine a different SHA coin. You would probably want to switch to Bitcoin Cash. And honestly, like if you were mining right now, I would mine Bitcoin Cash because I could buy that same ASIC miner and I could just go mine Bitcoin Cash.
But wouldn't it be okay? So as coins become, as mining and as coins are finite. Bitcoin is finite, right? As there's more and more coins mined, wouldn't that make Bitcoin become more and more value, since supply and demand, the less that you're able to mine, the more valuable the current ones are? And so in that way, wouldn't it make more sense to actually mine Bitcoin because it's finite, over time, and there's just likely to increase.
But there's so many different coins that are finite, and Bitcoin is obviously the hot chick, but Bitcoin Cash is a pretty hot chick too. It's kind of like you got Bitcoin, she's a 10.
Is it BCH? Is Bitcoin Cash BCH?
Hot individual. Yeah, BCH. And BCH is made by the same people who made Bitcoin. BCH is made by the same people who manage the Bitcoin network. It's a hard fork of Bitcoin.
Yeah, and it's putting in big moves too. I mean, if you look at the chart, this is almost a stronger chart than Bitcoin is anyway.
Exactly, and we're at 717 on BCH. We were at $200 on BCH not very long ago.
Right. So it's making big moves.
And this would be, you literally would just take your same miner and just repurpose it for BCH, and all that would be is just switching the mining pool, really.
Right. So my question for Tony here is, Tony, if they came out with crypto options, do they have crypto options, Joel? And if they did, Tony, would you trade them? You know,
I know somebody tried some crypto options at some point. I
somebody,
don't know that somebody did it on a different exchange at some
they
point, but
have
I can't
crypto
even remember what
futures.
exchange that was.
I gotta say it like this. No.
Okay.
Because
Why?
listen, I don't care how many people own Bitcoin. Not enough people own a full Bitcoin within my game of what I'm looking at constantly. So I chase volume whenever I'm going. Wherever my stuff of the pop's coming, it's momentum and volume for me. And sure, I could have a ripping day, and I see what they're doing of future shorting and everything, but just no. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, it's too temperamental.
But
It's one
that's what's good about options, though, is
Yeah, I
that the
know, but you're not.
volatility is there.
Yeah, but until I go out, like I don't know. I just no. I mean, maybe Austin would. I like trading my stock options off of my crypto. My crypto's
Austin.
running. I like to
Yeah.
do my INI and stuff like
So
that if it's not.
Mara, Riot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Austin, what about you? Would you trade crypto? These are the options, guys. Austin and Tony.
So it
yeah.
actually it would completely depend. You know, if I was in my current situation now, yes, I would look into it to see what the pluses and minuses are. But that's, and I said this so many different times, that's within my risk level. This is what I've chosen as the way I like to trade, because I like to be able to put $20 down on an option and make 25 or 30 back. And instead of putting 200 or 300 and making 10 to 15 or, however much. And I do think that crypto's a lot different, though, and it does. Right at this second, I would say I would do it, but I wouldn't do it today. It would take me months and months of trying to figure out how this goes.
Yeah, I just think the crush would be insane, especially whenever it's maintaining
100%. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
you have all of these coins and tokens that, I mean, some of them have moved hundreds of percents in a day, up and down. So I mean, you can be in the hardcore in the money in one of these options. The next thing you know, you'd be way out of money.
And it's open 24/7 too. So if you don't watch it overnight, unlike regular options, which they're only open during certain hours, you're basically stuck sometimes.
Well, there's a couple things though about trading crypto that sets it apart from trading stocks, and one of the things. This is one thing personally that I've done that has, costed me a lot in the past in trading crypto is trading meme coins, so to speak. Like Doge. with the exception of Doge, and Doge is I say the exception of Doge because Doge is one of the OG cryptos. I honestly don't consider it a meme coin. It was based off a meme and it was made as a joke, but who really cares? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the technology on it is really sound. The transaction fees are tiny, and
people behind it.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and I don't consider it a meme coin, so to speak, because, I don't even consider it an altcoin. I mean, Dogecoin has been around basically as long as Litecoin.
It's a staple.
Yeah, it's been around for so long that, Dogecoin is not just going to grab all your money and have a website that just doesn't exist tomorrow. And so I look at one of the things I look at when I'm trading coins, even if I'm looking to just get in and get out and never look at it again, I tend to stay away from a lot of altcoins without doing at least a couple of minutes of due diligence on every single coin. And the reason is because, dude, I have so many coins sitting in my Bittrex account that have been delisted or that are just vanished one day. And man, I lost a lot of money doing that type of thing. And so, I basically stick to, YOLO. And not even YOLO. I mean, I don't YOLO anything. I'm not.
Kind of lottoing it, like buying a bunch of really less established coins, most of them might fail, but the ones that succeed, that's the thing that I wanted to kind of go into next is altcoins. Where do you think the opportunity lies there? Like, do you think lotto investing in some of these coins, understanding you're going to lose money on a majority, but the ones you might make money on are going to be big money if they succeed? Like, is that a profitable endeavor for most people, do you think?
What was that line in 8 Mile? My motto, F Lotto. You know,
I'll get the 7 digits from you, tomorrow.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That. Right. That was what it followed up with. But.
I don't do lotto plays. Okay. Basically, I look at this. Okay, I'm looking to scalp these moves, in and out, and then build up my Ethereum and my Bitcoin or my USDT balance, and USDT, specifically, I was resistant to that for a long time, and I was resistant to that because, when they were getting sued, that was at the same time that all these altcoins were coming out and, raising hundreds of millions or sometimes even billions of dollars and then straight up vanishing on their ICOs. And an ICO, for those who don't know, that's an initial coin offering. It's basically the same as an IPO for a stock. Yeah, exactly.
Like just big crazy hype and then just nothing.
Yep, exactly. You want to stay away from any coin that is being hyped, and you got to watch out for that marketing. You got to watch out. Bots. Yes, there's bots are out there, dude. There's so much marketing, man.
Anytime I put a cryptocurrency in my title, the bots are saying, "Oh, this coin to the moon tomorrow," and like I could see how a naive, not even naive, but just a new investor might see that and be like, "Oh, well, let me buy this terrible cryptocurrency." I made some money on SafeMoon's pump, basically because I heard about it. I jumped in. I saw all the bots talking about it, so I assumed it would run. I made like 30%, and I got out. And then I didn't even withdraw my money because people were telling me Bitmart was a scam. And so I didn't even try to take my money out, but I transferred my money out of Bitmart and I got it.
I do want to talk about SafeMoon.
SafeMoon.
Austin.
Well, okay. Yeah.
I was just going to say, have you noticed that a lot of the options this month have been all the way till September 17th for the majority of stocks anymore? I mean, big caps are completely different, but like all these small bangers like SPRT, BBIG, and everything's been on a month rotation. That's
what,
like
you don't see the weeklies is what you mean?
Yeah, there are no weeklies for these things, which is beautiful.
Well, because a lot of those are too volatile to have weeklies. I mean, they won't. I
love how they're doing a monthly though. That's how I was able to get paid on SPRT, BBIG. It's just buy it.
And 20. I mean, they just added those recently. They used to not always have them.
Yeah, that's why I've never traded options, because I used to be a strictly penny stock trader and they just didn't have options on a lot of them. So like, I'm surprised a lot of these even have options. I would love, to be honest, to buy some put options on some of these things. Like put options on some of these super extended. Yeah, like if they had like a week-long put option on some of these stocks, I would buy them all day.
They definitely do.
They definitely do.
Let me tell you a little bit about my SafeMoon road trip
adventure.
Okay. Well, yes and no on both ends of that. Look, SafeMoon, I found out about SafeMoon the day that it dropped. I mean, the day. I could not figure out how to buy it until 3 days later.
Freaking pancake swap,
Right. But that was my first attempt at trying to use pancake swap and figuring that whole situation out. And that's not, in the beginning, that was not an easy process. That's not like it is now where you can just go and buy it.
Bro, pancake swap is the worst platform I've ever used. I'm sorry, I had to say it. Go ahead, my bad.
Well, no, look, and I got in on that. It was 3.5. It was like 40 something hours old when I got in. I'm still holding the exact same amount that I bought. I held that I put in $300. It went up to over 22,000, and it's still worth over 3,800. And I'm just gonna hold it because, again, SafeMoon is a nutso play, right?
That means it could go to zero though, So wait, your $300 investment went up to how much?
It was right over 22,000.
Oh my goodness, dude! I would have cashed out. I would have probably cashed
Oh
out
my
at like
gosh.
1,000.
But there's
Yeah, I would've
there's
cashed it.
look,
Safe moon.
looking back, hindsight's always 20/20, right?
Right.
But
Oh
look,
my gosh, dude,
yes, it is 100% true. And I've done this and I've looked it over and I've beat myself up over it. But at the same time, yeah, it's kind of slacked off and stopped. But there's been a lot of throughout the entire market. I mean, it's been slow up until just recently.
Austin, bro, I'm not in the business of telling people to get out of things.
But
These are not stock picks or coin
this is not a
recommendations.
pick. I'm just
We are
telling you
not liable
what's happening
for
with
any
me.
losses
Yeah.
in this stream. Listen
Moon
to
is
anybody
one
on
of
this
those
stream and
things-
lose. Not liable. Don't sue us, guys. Go ahead.
Look, I'm not telling anyone to go buy it. I'm not telling anyone to hold it, sell it, anything. I'm just telling you what I have currently, just because of what happened to me.
100 billion.
I've had
trillion.
2 of those also that went against me in a very bad way, which was Bonfire and Fox Finance, and that was just stupid plays. But back to Safe Moon, they have a lot of things coming up. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, Austin. Safe Moon's float, its supply.
No, I know.
It's 100 trillion.
Oh my
I know.
goodness.
I get it. But again, it's something that I put $300 into it, man. Just
And
like,
you're at
What's there to lose?
3,800, right?
Take that
Right. I think I checked it. I checked it this morning.
Play YOLO.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it rewards you with other things for holding it. Now, it's not a very big reward.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, you get like 10% out of all the sales that people sell. You get 5% of that split among everybody. And there's a lot of, you get other little tokens on the side that kind of just come up through their tokenomic system. But there are things that they are trying to do. You know, I have been paying attention to them because I am from almost day one holder. And I get what you're saying. It's not something I would suggest anyone to day trade. It's not something I would suggest anyone to swing, or even at this point, I would not suggest buying it. It's just, I got in so low that I can't lose at this point unless it goes to zero. I mean,
or unless they delist it.
Yeah,
unless they
delist.
delist.
I think that's the biggest risk.
I mean, they have a lot of things going their way, though. I mean, you know, they started with just a basic situation and they went to a wallet, and now they're trying to start an exchange with NFTs and all different things. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going in the right direction for that company or that token.
By the way,
but it's not a suggestion.
For those watching, if you guys want to know if a coin is going to be delisted, you can go to coindelist.com. And you can just click view delistings, and you don't even need an account here.
Too many times, so they made a website.
Yeah.
No, I guess you do need an account here.
That way you can set. That way,
like
that's actually useful. You know.
Yeah.
Anyone can make a coin or token. So I mean, there's no way that all of these can be upkept for however long.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. So I mean, like, you know, a lot of these coins have been made by kids in high school, and they're like, okay, high school's over. I'm moving on from the coin. You know, I got to go to college now, or whatever the case may be. You know, so if we go to coindelist.com, I can see right now there are two things that are coming up to be delisted. Or just got delisted 9 days ago on KuCoin and on Binance. There's actually quite a few coins that got delisted just 9 days ago. So
no money going.
And so that's why it's so, you know, there's levels to this ish, you know. So you gotta you know, pay attention to those types of things. I would say for anyone who is looking to trade crypto, number one, the first thing is do your due diligence. Go to CoinMarketCap. They have a ton of information, and just search for the coin. Number one, look at the supply. And number two, go to coindelist.com and check to see if it's going to be delisted soon. And you can see on the left there on his screen that there's all these different exchanges that you can look at. So if you are using one of those exchanges, you can, you know, check your exchange and see if it's going to be delisted. It's so imperative, because what happens is that before these coins get delisted, they get pumped.
Right.
And so it's really easy to be like, oh my gosh, that coin is running up 10% today. I'm going to buy into that. This thing's going to, it's going to moon or, whatever the kids are saying these days. And then it gets, delisted. It's kind of like when they hit you with an offering in stocks.
Right. They pump it up and then they crash it down,
exactly.
to profit from it.
Yeah, exactly. And then, the company is like, oh, well, we didn't fraud anybody because you can still buy it on this obscure exchange that's available in, Cayman or something like that.
And we have the country.
And we have 5 users, and it's all us. We didn't rob anybody. And so, and I've
that
seen
withdrawal is coming soon.
And I've seen that happen. I don't even know how many times. So, number one is go to CoinMarketCap and research it. Research the total supply, which is the equivalent of the current size of the float. Remember, a lot of coins, their float increases over time. And number two, check it at coindelist.com to see if it's going to be delisted soon. If it is, my suggestion would be to just don't trade it. Don't get FOMO and just be like, okay, I'm just not going to trade that one. And then, my personal strategy when it comes to trading crypto is to build up balances. So if I'm trading an altcoin, I'm usually trading that altcoin to buy it and then sell it. There are a couple altcoins that I hold, like Algorand and Cardano and trying to remember Tezos and a couple of the other ones that are actually they have they're on Coinbase. Traditionally, before coindelist.com, we used to often look at Coinbase as sort of the gold standard in crypto.
Right.
Not because they have the best marketing, but because they were so careful in bringing on new coins. And a lot of the exchanges were not. A lot of the exchanges would just be like, hey, new coin, here we go.
Throw it up.
Yeah.
And Coinbase also is really easy to withdraw from. Like, that's who I used to withdraw from some of my other platforms. They have like a direct to debit option, which will let me stick it right into my account easily.
Which they were the first company to do that.
Right.
They actually even used to let you withdraw to PayPal. I don't know if they still do that, but
no, I don't think they do. I wish they did.
Yeah, so they were they were one of the first companies to really make buying crypto easy. That's actually where I bought my first Bitcoin in 2013 was Coinbase. But they were really slow to move, and in the last year and a half, they've added a ton of different coins to their platform.
Right.
So what other questions we got?
So we got a few more questions and then we'll probably close it down. The last two I want to go over are, we have SSP asking a question about, where'd it go? I lost it.
Before we shut it down, I'd like to get Joel's take on where he thinks the NFT market's going and what do you think the future is there, and how would someone get started into investing into NFTs in that
Brady and Wayne
space.
So first off, I think the NFT market is it's totally in its infancy and it's going to explode. That is I'm very, very, very bullish on NFT. I don't know how to get started in NFT yet. I'm researching that, and I'm
you and
Binance,
me both, man. I was hoping you had some more info than me. I love the idea.
Listen, I was gonna say I've got an NFT guy that I'm actually filming a show with, hopefully this weekend. That the show is gonna be about how to find and buy profitable NFTs. He knows a ton about them. We're gonna have a show about that coming soon, just for those wondering.
I don't think NFT is a fad. So, and I think that is that in and of itself is really important. When it first started popping off and getting popular and stuff like that, I was like, man, people are people really going to take this seriously? Right. And after giving it a couple of months to kind of stew over it and look at some of the technology behind it and look at what can be turned into NFTs, I absolutely believe that NFTs are going to be
anything.
Yes, because what I really look at is going to be the biggest driver of NFTs is not going to be the little like pixel arts and things like that. I believe it's going to be movies and music and other media.
I was going to say sports games like World
Yeah.
Series tickets and things like that can be made into NFTs. Certain plays or anything like that can be happening. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a huge market that's
so broad.
untapped.
I like how DraftKings is doing it right now, where they got the Wayne Gretzky and they got the Tom Brady, the Ruby
Sports
sold.
cards.
Yeah, they sold
Baseball
for the
cards.
They sold for the $1,500 a piece, and then each card was valued at about $100,000 for the resale.
Yeah.
I don't know how the copyright laws would work with all that stuff, but I do know that a lot of people can make their own art and different things and turn it into an NFT.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Just to comment on what Trevor said. Trevor said, "How can you say they're about to explode, but don't know how to buy them yet?" I think he knows how to buy them. He's just not an expert on speculating on them. Trevor is what he's saying. So he can believe in the technology without knowing exactly how to profit big from it.
Yeah, and first off, I'm going to be the first one to say I'm not an expert, and I'm never going to claim to be an expert on anything ever. The reason why I think NFTs are going to explode is because the underlying marketing behind it, exclusivity drives prices up. Period. That's just yes.
Like scarcity is really like that scarcity market of like Pokemon cards or like baseball cards or like anything digital that is scarce. That's what NFT means. It's non-fungible. It means it's rare. There's not a lot out there. It's not reproducible. And so with that,
And if we get away from the exclusivity factor of it and we start looking at it in terms of how we manage DRM, and we start looking at it from the ideology that, okay, if video games end up on the blockchain and video games end up as if they end up as an NFT, imagine that there's going to be an Xbox Live marketplace where when you go currently right now, when you go on there, you could buy your DRM game and just digitally download it to your Xbox. Now, how long is it going to be before they're selling all their limited editions that way? How long is it going to be before movies and music's already being transacted that way? How long is it going to be before almost all of our media is done in that way if it's not in a streaming format?
Right. It's more
efficient. I mean, you have the PC games that are coming out for NFTs and things like that. I know Big Time was one of them that's supposed to be coming out soon. That's going to be NFT based. I've been paying attention to that one on Discord. And I know there's a few others, but
my question, I guess, is how do you profit from the NFT market aside from like NFT stocks and buying NFTs? Do you just buy? Ethereum is going to directly benefit from the NFT market.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Ethereum's going to benefit a lot.
So just buying Ethereum and investing in Ethereum, I guess, if you think the NFT market's going to get big, Ethereum is the easy ride up with it, I guess.
Exactly, and that's just it. Like, I don't know that much about NFT, but I understand marketing and I understand scarcity and I understand that the more and more things get quote unquote locked down or regulated, the more easier it is to profit from them, and it's easier to profit on the ride up. And like you said, buying Ethereum or riding the Ethereum wave, there are so many companies that are getting behind that, and Ethereum is driving NFTs right now. And so, really for me, it's an Ethereum play, and holding Ethereum and building your Ethereum balances through day trading and through other means, I personally think is one of the best things that one could do to ride the NFT train and to ride not just that, but also the new technology that they've got coming out soon. So, I think that that's the play there. And then I also think that the other play is to get educated. I'm in the process of getting educated right now on NFTs. And I think that one thing that, we all need to understand, regardless of what niche you're in, whether you're in crypto or stocks or entrepreneurship or literally anything, you have to constantly be educating yourself, and you have to constantly be growing your knowledge base about how you're,
technology.
Exactly, about technology, about how your market is changing. Like if you're a mechanic and you got certified 20 years ago and then never learned anything new, you're already out of a job because you don't know how to work on electric or you don't know how to work on hybrid. So you've just
All
got
those
to
niches are ever expanding, so you kind of have to keep up with that.
Kind of like
exactly.
programming. It's kind of like programming, right? You could learn C 30 years ago, but I mean, I guess you could still find a job as a C programmer, but as time goes on, those languages are going to become more and more scarce in jobs, and so you always got to constantly be evolving and upgrading your skill set in those markets and those niches to be able to be relevant, in today's
Yeah.
world. So
For sure.
makes a lot of
Hey,
sense. Go
Austin.
ahead.
Hey, just before we close out and everything, did you swing anything over the weekend for your options play, or are you all cash right
No.
now?
Well, actually,
No.
I take that back. I did buy a WTI option yesterday. Sold my Lucid option this morning for 75% profit, and then I bought a daily when I saw Lucid trying to pop again. It was just a stupid little play, but I made I think I bought it for 15, sold it for 20. It's right at the end of the day. So
Over the next month and a half, I'm gonna be carrying Apple. I'm at a 170 call. Got in around 80, 87 for that. So I'll let that ride. That's October 22nd for that. So I figure at least 160, 165 by the next month I'll be able to get up to. I'm in GSAT still, but GSAT's just my personal little lotto runner with that. RSI I joined
I
right
sold my
before the
GSAT
bell.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, GSAT I'm just gonna let ride. I mean, the reality is I bought them for 5 cents a piece, so I don't really care about
That
them.
was
I have
same here.
50 of
That's
them.
I got
Yeah.
one of my calls got executed, so I ended up with 100 shares. And it's
Oh
just not
no.
one of the stocks where you can really sell premium. It would have had to have jumped massively in order for me to sell premium and make it worth it. So
Yeah.
I just sold it all off.
RSI I
before
jumped in right before the bell. I'm sorry, John, but just saying,
Oh, no, you're good.
RSI I jumped in right before the bell, and that one right there, they're talking about a buyout with the unusual options. I got the $20 call for the 23 average right there, so I'm hoping to come
Nice.
back in. Yeah, and I was able to do 365% on Apple. I bought at 990 and was able to get out at 33.
Well, I know John wants to answer this real quick question, but let me tell
Yeah,
No,
you,
you're good.
sorry,
You're
but
good. No, we don't.
anybody
We're
has
not
any
rushing.
questions,
Y'all are good.
I'm trying to be more active on the beginner trading Discord. So anybody has a question or anything, hit me up on the beginner trading Discord. You'll see me posting in the main chat sometimes and things like that. My name's Trading with Austin. So
Here's the
hit
link
me
in the
up in
chat
there.
right here, guys.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Tony. I mean, you're more than welcome to hit me up in private message, man. We can talk about different plays and stuff. But I like where your head's at for sure with those plays.
So
yeah,
I
we'll
wanted to
see what
get to
happens.
this. I wanted to get this question. SSP's been asking it a bunch, and so I promised I'd get to it. What do y'all think about XRP? I think that's Joel.
Ripple.
Ripple,
Yeah,
right?
Ripple. Yeah,
Ripple's an OG to me. I'm just saying. Keep going.
Yeah.
but it's hard to find it. A lot of platforms don't have it.
Yeah, it got delisted at a lot of places. Ripple a couple of years ago, I think I would be a bit more bullish on it. A couple of years ago, Ripple was the front runner in being able to transact currency between countries. So to be able to, instead of Western Unioning your family over in Vietnam, you could send Ripple, and it was a much better option. But that was before the altcoin boom, and that was before all these other coins that are making it also just as easy. And so while looking at Ripple's chart there, it looks pretty decent.
That's the monthly chart. Here's the year, which still looks pretty strong too.
Ripple's had a lot of legal issues over the last year, and last
They were
year
just
and
in
a
a
half,
lawsuit
really.
recently, I believe.
Yeah, they were, and they were gonna get listed on Coinbase, and then I think they ended up not getting listed on Coinbase. I gotta check to see if they're even on Coinbase. They were supposed to go there at some point, and I'm not sure if they ever made it. But my thoughts on Ripple, I mean, they've been around for a long time. I don't think that you're at too much risk in terms of losing your investment with Ripple, but at the same time, I think that they're better. Yes, that's what I was about to say. I think that they're as far as technology is concerned, I think there are better things coming out. And I think Ripple just kind of got stagnant in terms of their marketing, I should say, and in terms of whatever their goals are. So they were the hot chick. They were the thing that everybody couldn't stop talking about for the longest.
Yeah,
And now it's just, don't hear it a lot. They did make it a Coinbase.
But it's not tradable. I'm looking at it now.
It says not supported.
Yeah, so it didn't.
so they were supposed to get added to Coinbase. I think it was about a year ago, and then they just didn't. So and they didn't. I remember because their legal issues that started to crop up, and their oversight. So they had a lot of like oversight issues with the U.S. and other countries, and they. So my thoughts on Ripple. I mean, I think that that's fine. But I just think that there are better options that are available out there now.
Okay. And the last thing I wanted to talk to Joel about, and then we're running out of time. My wife's gonna get mad at me for spending my Friday night nerding out on crypto over here. But the last thing I wanted to talk to Joel about was copy trading. So Joel, you getting set up with copy trading on BitGet? You're gonna be a copy trader. Have you gotten approved yet?
I submitted my application this morning, so I haven't got approved yet. I am going to start copy trading with them. I really like their desktop app is really smooth.
Right.
So that is and trading software with crypto is notoriously bad.
Right.
So
it's pretty solid. The app is good. The phone app is good, and of course they're a sponsor of me. Full disclosure, and they pay me money, and so I'm going to say I like them anyway. But I genuinely do like the platform. It's easy to use, which is rare. And a lot of crypto platforms are buggy, and this one's not.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get set up. When I do, John, I'll be the first to let you know, and maybe we can talk about it on the stream or something. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. And I am gonna trade pretty actively. I trade like 3 to 5 crypto trades a day. So but with the software, I mean, I can just get in and get out so quickly that I'll probably step up my active trading with crypto. With this. So,
and I think it's really interesting because I think like if you look at the copy traders, right? So like if we look at the copy traders here, a lot of these guys are not trading huge. Like a lot of these guys are taking like $60 and they're running that $60 up into hundreds, and they're still earning. They're copying traders money. They're still making them money. They're just not trading large. Like this guy has gotten into 150 transactions. He's up.
Only risked a penny.
Yeah, listen, he is up 200. He's up 27,000%, and he's up $102. And so, he's earning money. And so,
what's his name? I can't spell that.
Yeah, I can't spell it either. But my point is, he's not trading huge here, but it's a money making opportunity if you're good at trading crypto. If you're good at if you've been historically profitable in crypto, you can start. You don't have to. You can start your little crypto hedge fund type of thing here with $10 and run that up and let people copy you and earn 10% on the money they're making. Which a lot of the people I'm following, like Bill, has made me, just to give you an example of like a copy trader that's not trading large. If we look at Bill here, Bill is not a huge trader. Bill has not made that much. Bill's only made a few $100s himself copy trading crypto, but he's earned me $530. And so he's earned 10% of that. And so he's earned $53 just from letting me copy him. So you don't need a ton of money, and you can earn money from these traders who are, growing and getting bigger. So it's an interesting thing if you're good at crypto. And I'll post the link, guys, if you want to. Of course, they're a sponsor of mine, so I got to plug them once in the stream. But I'll post the link here if any of you guys in chat want to be a copy trader or want to copy other traders. This is the list of guys I follow, and yeah, my man Joel's going to be doing it soon, and I'll probably copy him too. There's the link in the chat as well, guys.
Absolutely,
George.
guys.
I know George was talking about Hut 8 mining, the stock, and yeah, man, you're 100% correct. That thing has been rocketing.
My group was playing options on it earlier. Actually, they got in around like 9 something, and it just kept going.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah, I
at,
know he had
I
mentioned
see
it the other day on stream, and I completely forgot about it, and now I wish I wouldn't have
Right.
after
So this is a
looking at it.
Bitcoin. Yeah, this one is skyrocketing. I heard a lot of people talking about this one this past week. You know, if we look at the 4-hour chart, I mean, it's a pretty strong chart. You know, it's a solid chart if I've seen one.
I'm just
Yeah,
so
it's
mad at
testing recent
myself.
highs of back a
Yeah.
few months ago.
Just so much paper hands going on with me lately. Missed that.
Dude, I'm big Papa
I
paper
know,
hands, bro.
I
I'm
know.
the king of paper
Dude,
hands.
I would have had $136,000 as SPRT if I would have held for one more day. That's
You can't
ridiculous.
hindsight trade though, brother. Listen,
Oh
you made
my
a bunch of
gosh.
money. You know, you can't do it.
Hey,
If I
I did the
hindsight
same
traded,
thing on
dude.
the ARCT with my
Yeah, for
options.
sure.
Not that much.
Or your
but
22,000 on your safe moon that's killing me
Oh
during our
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
I
He's
know,
super
man.
diamond handsing it. You know.
Hey, but look, it's just 5 or 10 years from now, I'll be happy that I'm still holding it. Maybe that's all I
Alright.
can hope for.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe it'll be worth
But yeah,
10
guys.
times that.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, listen, I hope it does. If it does, listen, you can be here and be like, look, told you so. You
Let's
know,
do
so
it.
we'll see. Hey,
I
but no,
told you guys.
Sticky.
after
We're gonna sticky that.
all.
that's the best phrase in trading is I told you so. But no, listen, guys, we're gonna close down the stream. I really had fun, to be honest. I know Fridays are a little bit slow, but it's been fun. I've enjoyed doing it. If you guys ever want to come back again, let me know. Everybody in the chat, thank these guys, Joel, Austin, Tony, for being here. Great conversation, great information here. And yeah, if any of y'all want to say anything else, let me know. If any of them have socials, we have Joel right now has joelstraight.com is his website. Go check it out. Check, if you like what he had to say today, go check that site out. We have Austin, who always is a part of the channel here. I don't think he has any socials, but Tony has some socials. I'll throw up in the chat as well if you guys want to follow these gentlemen and show support for the content they're putting out here. We'll include all that in the description.
Yep. Good. Had fun, guys. We'll do
Yeah,
it
for
again.
sure.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend. Remember,
It was
it's a
awesome.
long weekend, so
Yeah, we might do some crypto
stock
trading.
market's closed on Monday.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah.
Monday's gonna kill us, dude.
Tony's
Hey,
gonna hate
I
it. We're
hate
gonna
that.
be talking
Dude,
about
I
crypto all weekend instead of options.
I'm
Crypto
just
trading on holidays is awesome, though. So.
Right, that's what I'm
Once
gonna do.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Sorry, there's so many people here. We're gonna cut each other off.
I was
I
saying, once I
say,
started stock trading, I hated weekends. It's
Right,
just
for
not.
sure.
I can't make money. I mean,
But
that's why I'm trying to get
crypto's
into the
great.
crypto. That's
That's
why
why-
I'm trying.
I've loved crypto because it gives me something. I'm a workaholic. Like this, like beginner trading's my baby. So it's like if I can find something to stream Monday morning, I'm gonna be here streaming on Labor Day. So if y'all want to join me, y'all can. I'm gonna be streaming Labor Day morning. Hopefully the crypto market is volatile. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're closing down, guys.
I think
go
it'll
ahead.
be. I mean,
Yeah.
traditionally holidays on crypto is there's usually some sort of spike, especially at Christmas. There's always
Yeah.
some huge spike
Oh.
around Christmas.
Everybody's getting their
Yep.
Christmas money buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, my bonus is next week.
Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna buy 0.001 Bitcoin. 0.0001, I should say. 0.001 Bitcoin is like a few $100. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thank everybody for being here. We'll see you guys
Thanks so much,
hopefully
guys.
tomorrow with some type of content. Thank you all for joining, and we'll see you guys next time.
Adios.
Later, team.
Peace.
Peace.